And a big welcome back to Starfire as one championship's in the books. The Highline women are victorious. And now the Highline men are going to take the field against a very physical Whatcom Orcas team.
Yep, the Orcas undefeated on the season, #1 seed, swept through the tournament so far. Highline, got by CBC on penalty kicks in the quarterfinal round, but had a 4-1 win here on Friday, and they're going to try to work with the women and complete the Highline sweep here pretty much on their home field, here at Starfire, not too far from the Highline campus. So a little bit of a home field advantage for the Thunderbirds.
And a big story of that last game that the Highline men played was the hat trick by Adama Conte. Fantastic speed off the field. It managed to get behind the defense. They were getting really tired for Walla Walla. Very physical, very quick Highline team as well.
Well, and Highline's going to throw, they've got a big roster. They're going to throw a lot of people at you and a lot of speed. Walla Walla scored first, and it was downhill for them from there. Highline came back, ended up winning 4-1, kind of got away from them in the end a little bit. But this should be a really big game. I mean, you've got Whatcom, who's had a tremendous season and got through a pretty challenging bracket to get here, and sets up to be a great championship final. Hopefully it'll live up to the standard the women's game set.
All right, and the Whatcom team, in order to get here, was a truly brutal semifinal game. Lots of cards issued. There was actually a point where over on the benches there was almost what turned into a hockey fight over in front of that Highline bench. So the tempers were very high on Friday. Do you think that continues into today?
Well, I think, anytime you get into the Final Four or a final and you're looking at a one-goal game, you're going to get a lot of intensity. You got a lot of sort of 18 to 22-year-olds, so there's an opportunity. People get fired up, and the soccer can sometimes take a backseat a little bit to the physical battle. But I think, you've got two well-coached teams playing in a final. I think it doesn't serve Highline any purpose to get in a fight while they're running past people. And I think for Whatcom, they're a skillful team that's capable of playing soccer, and I think they're going to try to use their skill to overcome Highline. And I think that's really the matchup. I think both teams will be physical. I think you're counting on the official to do a good job. I think in the women's championship game, the official. I think she's a good official, but I also thought she got a little bit caught at the end of the game as the game really amped up in that last 10 minutes plus overtime. There were some really physical challenges, and I think she had to figure out how to deal with those. And I think on the men's side, it's going to be important from the opening whistle to make sure that the game is really called consistently. People know where each player understands what the boundaries are, what you can and can't get away with today, and that it doesn't change. And that way, I think within as long as that happens, and it puts a lot of pressure on the official to be proactive and talk to the players a little bit as the game goes on. But I'm confident that the NWAC officiating crew will be able to pull that off, and I think we're going to get a great game.
All right, and right between us, it appears we got a refill as the women's trophy was gone about half hour ago. Now we have the men's trophy right here.
There you go. It's always good to sit next to it, but it's going to be a lot more fun for somebody to take it home this afternoon. And,
absolutely. And the question is, will it be Highline coming with the championship sweep, or will the Whatcom Orcas take care of it? And we'll have this answer and answers to a lot more questions I'm sure will develop as the game continues.
Absolutely.
Right when we come back, kickoff just a few moments away from Starfire Stadium.
This is Combine Training.
I will.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Nestled within tall trees and beautiful buildings, Pierce College has established itself as a national leader in improving student success. With two main campuses in Puyallup and Fort Steilacoom, and satellite campuses on Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Pierce College strives to create quality educational opportunities to help students realize their possibilities. As we celebrate 50 years in the community, Pierce College is proud to offer more than 60 programs of study with a fit for you, your life, your schedule, and your dream. Find your path, start at Pierce College today, and realize your possibilities. Visit pierce.ctc.edu.
Historic. Unique. Exciting. As challenges continue to test the mettle of Americans, your community has to depend on willing citizens just like you to answer the call and respond to local disasters and other times of crisis. You may be surprised to find out who we are and what we do. In fact, it could actually be your story too. The Air.
And now we'll throw it over to public address announcer Marco Acertia as he introduces the teams in today's match.
Fans, and welcome to the 2017 Men's Soccer Championship Final Match. Our match tonight features the visitors from Highline College versus the home team, the Whatcom Community College Orcas. We'd like to thank our sponsors for the NWAC tournament, the Red Lion Hotels and Inns, Washington State National Guard, Bottom Sports, Under Armour, and our host, Highline College. The three core principles of the NWAC are character, competition, and community. The NWAC encourages you as a fan to enjoy the competition, cheer the athletes, and respect those involved. Good sportsmanship is at the core of competition, and the NWAC asks that you refrain from swearing and derogatory remarks directed at the student athletes, officials, and other fans. Failure to adhere to this responsibility will be cause for removal. Now we'd like to introduce to you tonight's participants. First, the Highline Thunderbirds. Number 0, Cooper Hutchins. Number 1, Julian Tukwila. Number 2, Achille Kazim. Number 3, Noah Runsvold. Number 4, Chris Garfias. Number 5, Riley Johnson. Number 6, Dylan Murphy. Number 7, Mitchell Palmer. Number 8, Mohamed Jailani. Number 10, Adama Kante. Number 12, Tyler Black. Number 13, Gavin McElroy. Number 14, Dane Evinger. Number 15, Axel Mejia. Number 16, Janoy Bay. Number 18, Dallas Bohannon. Number 20, Miguel Macias. Number 21, Fernando Sanchez. Number 22, Miguel Hernandez. Number 23, Cody Park. Number 24, Brad Lewis. Number 26, Jesus Garcia. Number 27, Gabriel McGregor. The Thunderbirds are coached by Mr. Steve Mon. He's assisted by Rafael Cox and Nick Rosado. Now the Whatcom Orcas. Number 1, Rusty Crowder. Number 2, Uriel Herrera. Number 3, Corey Koo. Number 4, Alan Eo. Number 5, Brandon Barbosa Briones. Number 7, Kawika Zarco. Number 8, Hunter Montgomery. Number 9, Jesus Torrio. Number 10, Elaine Berhula. Number 11, Stephen Caponi. Number 12, Jerry Merville. Number 13, Eric Jones. Number 14, Cam Miller. Number 15, Zach Wani. Number 16, Keegan Kubert. Number 17, Rigo Gonzalez. Number 18, Garrison Lee. Number 19, Adrian Vasquez. Number 20, Dalton Nagarath. Number 21, Nahoa Foster. Number 22, Efren Martinez. Number 23, Kanjora Tande. Number 25, Kelau Kaliko. Number 26, Noah Rasmussen. Number 27, Jesus Granados. Number 28, Charlie Green. And number 29, Elijah Moon. The Orcas are coached by Mr. Jason Jorgensen. He's assisted by Nick Cashmere, Nate Roberson, Ivan Colin, Luis Gutierrez, Sebastian Kent, and Chris Peterson. Tonight, our officials are in the center, Mr. Michael Blondin. He's assisted on the sides by Mr. Cameron Seiler and Chris Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Highline College and Whatcom Community College, let's get it going.
And as we welcome you back to Starfire Stadium for the final broadcasted game of the NWAC Championships, we get a quick look at the starters for Highline and a big story again. In the last game they played, it was a big victory over Walla Walla and a hat trick by Adame Kante. And I'm sure you can back this up. It is not an easy feat to score 3 goals in one game.
No, you're not going to see a lot of, well, you're going to see some hat tricks, especially at this level, but you're not going to see that many in the semifinals of the championships. Obviously, Conte going to get some attention from the Whatcom defense. They're certainly going to, they've been successful defensively all year, hosting the champion. Officially, they're the host of the championship as the 1 seed. And, Highline's going to have to find a way to get Conte free, when you'd assume that Whatcom's going to be prepared to shade in his direction, but a lot of speed in the Highline attack, and it's going to be an interesting challenge for the Whatcom defense to organize to defend against that speed. We saw a skillful all-star game earlier today in the men's side. I think the final was 5-2, so a lot of goal scoring, wide open soccer. I think you'll see a little bit more defense in the championship match, but once again, you're looking at the 2 best teams in the league. 1 seed and 1 seed. And the 1 seed in the north, 1 seed in the east, and they've kind of taken on all comers all season, and sort of the cutest, smallest orca I've ever seen walking around in the stands down there for Whatcom, and not the fiercest looking mascot we've ever seen, but
and those things are like the honey badgers of the ocean, man.
Yeah, those guys, real orcas are tough. You don't really want to meet one of those guys in a dark alley, but as Whatcom huddles in the middle of the field, Highline over on the sideline by their coaches. And, it'll be interesting for me. I haven't seen any of the NWAC men's teams play yet this season, so I'm excited to see, the level of the championship match on the men's side.
And real quick, as we take that graphic off about the starters for Whatcom, one to look forward to, you'll be looking forward to watching. Garrison Lee, out of the defender spot, had a great game. One of the biggest goals of the tournament, in my opinion, which tied the game at halftime when Whatcom was playing against a very, very tough team in their semifinal.
Oh, against Spokane. Well,
yep.
Yeah, the east side, there's some really good teams on the east. Spokane, Walla Walla, Columbia Basin, and Highline only got by Columbia Basin on penalties. Spokane, gave Whatcom everything they could handle. I think it was a real challenge, and it'll be a good, and then Walla Walla, is a good team. And so Highline clearly playing, coming good at the end here, and Whatcom undefeated on the season as we get underway.
So Highline comes back with it first. Pushing the attack that time was Adrian Vasquez. And now coming up the near sideline, backtracking a little bit, it's going to be Eric Jones. The goalkeeper, Rusty Crowder, will go back. He's going to be doing the keeping for the Whatcom Orcas today. In the opposing goal, it's going to be Akili Kasim. It looks like
there's
he's about
Kasim.
to get
He
busy.
puts the ball through right off the bat.
And
Conte found Kasim, and they get an early corner kick. First minute of the game, and they've already been able to find a seam in the Whatcom defense, and now it's a goal kick. Okay, lots of gesturing, and
so correction there. Rusty Crowder now to do the goal kick.
for the Orcas.
Akili Kasim, the goalkeeper for Highline. Ball played on the header coming in for it. It's going to be Balmer. Also had a fine semifinal against Spokane. Now up the far sideline. And in the middle, it's going to be Jaylani. Tries to find Balmer. And it'll go backwards towards Gavin McLeroy. And Jaylani is going to kick it out of bounds. It'll be Orcas throw-in.
Jaylani early in the game looks like he's going to cover a lot of space for Highline. It's going to be really up to Jerry Maraville, I think it is, in the middle of the park for Whatcom to try to patrol that area of the field a little bit, not allow him. He's not going to defend him 1v1, but he's going to be looking to prevent penetration off of those types of runs and Jaylani's possession.
Another big one to look for over the center over this game is going to be Noah Runsfold for Highline. Was heavily involved in a lot of crucial defensive plays.
Well, there's Whatcom. Great ball across the far post. Whatcom couldn't quite get on the end of that. And Highline looks like they're going to come out, but early on, both teams have shown they can get in the box and really try to unsettle each other's defenses.
Get a shot at Conte there. Little 4-on-1 action. That's Jinho Bay back there. Has been doing a great job all tournament. Mainly known back there for his legs. Got quite the boot. Was able to get the Thunderbirds out of a few tight spots in their semifinal. And now here's Conte.
And there's Conte. Beats one defender.
And they're going to give the free kick to the Orcas.
Cameron Miller did a nice job. Got his body in between Conte and the ball. And they'll be coming out with a free kick.
Getting all lined up appears to be Hunter Montgomery. Did a lot of the kicking against Spokane. Boy, quality boot. Got all of it. Coming toward
a little tip from number 4, Alan Ayub. And he couldn't quite find that winger making a run, but it was a nice little free kick and a nice little flick on. Uriel Herrera was not quite. He would have needed a moped to get to that one, but he had a good jump, and it was a good little nod on into the area. Highline, playing that 4-2-3-1, it's pretty popular, across, certainly in American soccer and across Europe. So it's a good formation because you can get numbers in the middle of the field, clog things up, and you can also get numbers forward from a variety of places. More of a straight 4-3-3 from Whatcom.
Coming up the near side now, Gavin McLeroy will dump it off. Tries to find Conte, instead overshoots him and ends up in the possession of Murrayville.
And you're going to see Highline is going to have some space to operate on the wings. Whatcom's going to have to be in front of him. Bad pass picked up by Conte now.
Tries to go on the outside to Black, and Black has to backtrack. It's Jaylani.
And Jaylani got the ball once, but then let a defender get in between him and the ball.
That was Adrian
Got called for the
Vasquez.
foul. Vasquez, good job to step in front and then take the foul.
Now Vasquez to do the free kick. Taking his time, no need to rush. Very early in the first half. The first 5 minutes have gone by. Vasquez.
2 Whatcom players go for it. Pulled down by Montgomery.
It looks like McLeroy came away with it, but it's going to go out of bounds.
I think it's going to. Is he going to get a throw in, or yeah? It looks like it's going to be a throw in. I thought maybe they were going to. Yep, they're going to call foul there. Highline will take the kick. McLeroy drew the foul.
That was a throw in. It's definitely going to Whatcom.
Yep, and it's Jaylani is going to hit this.
Jaylani, great kick downfield, and Crowder is going to call for it.
Not much in that.
Crowder surveying downfield. Elects to drop kick.
Really high looping kick.
Tyler Black will give it out to Balmer. Balmer right back to Black, and that's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Orcas.
Yeah, at least the early going here, the emphasis very much on midfield play and making sure you tighten the back. You're not going to see a lot of breaks or opportunities, I don't think, in the first few minutes here.
Long throw across midfield. Waiting for it that time. Uriel Herrera, who comes away with it. Stumped up by
Herrera
Noah Runsfold.
Got stopped by basically 3 Highline players stacked together.
Now Balmer doing battle with Herrera.
Herrera did a good job there. He was patient. Whatcom wanted a call there. Not going to get it. And now a throw in for Whatcom. That confused everybody.
Continued to confuse Gavin McLeroy, who got a little bit of a late break on that one.
Well, McLeroy did something that, always bugs you as a coach. He was trying to get the throw in, and I think he was probably right. I think the official made a mistake, but, the referee made it pretty clear that he was calling it for Whatcom. Don't hand the ball to the other team. Hand it to the referee or something like that. Give yourself a chance to get back on defense.
See, he was just about beaten out there by Herrera.
Yeah, and here comes Whatcom. They're going to loft it into the box. Flicked on. Bicycle attempt. That's not going to go anywhere. But, hey, Whatcom just threw a ball into the 18, and they had 2 players with a clear shot at it that Highline really didn't have anything to do with one way or the other stopping them. They bounced, didn't really fall for either of them. Definitely not the bicycle kick that player envisioned when he started the maneuver, but, Whatcom with the first real opportunity of the day.
Long goal kick from Kasim. Continues to stay in the air. Jaylani gives over to Runsfold. Runsfold to Black. Now backtracking a bit. Balmer in pursuit.
A dangerous pass back from Whatcom. I love the confidence, but I don't know if you want to play a ball like that back at your own defense.
Runsfold to go right back to McLeroy. Finds Jaylani. Jaylani gets it around one defender. That was Montgomery.
He drew the foul. Conte came out of nowhere there.
And
Keegan Covert picks up the foul. I think he's going to be okay.
Haven't made a motion over to the trainer's tent yet.
No, he's okay. I think he wanted to make sure he got the foul call.
So it's going to be Tyler Black doing the free kick here.
And he's running off now. Seems to have made a full recovery there.
Oh, yeah. Miraculous.
Another part of the game that you don't really see on the women's side. I hope we don't start to see it anytime soon. Nice ball across. Whatcom, head cleared. That ball got through Conte. He almost ended up on the end of that thing at the top of the 18.
Runsfold with a long shot. It's going to bounce and be easily saved. That time by Rusty Crowder.
You'd think you could get a little bit of a skip if you get a driven ball on rainy turf like this. You could get a bit of a skip. Long ball by Whatcom.
Balmer goes backwards toward Jaylani, right back to McLeroy. McLeroy, further down the field, tries to find Adame Conte. And here comes Balmer.
He does. Well cleared. The captain for Whatcom stepping in there and taking it right off the foot of Mitchell Ballmer.
Jaylani ends up with it. Go diagonal across the field. Finding Sanchez. Sanchez puts it up toward the goal, and looks like they got Conte offsides.
I'm a little confused how he was offsides on that play, but he was in a wrestling match with the defender. Regardless, Whatcom comes out.
With it on the outside, Cameron Miller gives off to Zach Wayne, and here comes Ballmer again.
Ballmer's been the Energizer Bunny there, working hard. Conte flips it off the crossbar.
Boy, oh boy, another
coming
shot.
Back. Now a little. Riley Johnson dragged that one well wide, but Conte, you can see why he gets a hat trick in a playoff game. I mean, he got about a quarter of an inch of space, touched it up, hooked it over the keeper.
But just off the crossbar, a
Yeah,
little
almost
unlucky
no
there.
room, yeah, but what a great play to get that shot off. Beat the keeper, left Rusty Crowder completely stranded.
Man, let's not ignore the fact that Tyler Black had a shot on goal as well. Just went far wide to the right.
Well, Tyler Black, I mean, he's the guy doing the dirty work right now and getting loose. Now it's just to see who can get on the end of it. Through ball for Whatcom, right back down the other way.
It's going to be a throw-in from right next to the corner for Whatcom. It's going to be Uriel Herrera heading that direction. Rain continues to fall pretty hard right now. We saw it start to pick up during the introduction of players. Picked up a little bit toward the end of the women's championships as well.
Good ball in.
And out.
Corner. A little confused, but okay. Looks like Highline's also a little confused about that one. But Whatcom's going to come in. This is the first corner of the game.
And heading out that direction to do it's going to be Zach Wayne. And that ball went well past the other corner when it went out of bounds. So we got to get a new ball from the sidelines.
Yep, they've got a couple of them. Same thing, 5 Whatcom players getting ready to run into the far post, basically. Ball comes in, flicked on,
And
out
that
of
will go
bounds,
out.
and now it's a goal kick. Not a terribly dangerous moment in the end, but had the potential to be.
Actually starting to be able to hear the rain fall a little bit now.
Yeah, it's a good bit of water on the ground at the moment. You know, it's a relatively slick field, although this field drains exceptionally well.
It's going to be a free kick for Whatcom just behind the midfield line. It's going to be Keegan Couvert to do the honors.
Yep, he's going to loft this ball into the far post where you got.
Correction, he's going to give it off to Eric Jones. Couvert now, just a few feet to his right. Jones on the kick.
Long ball in. Keeper comes out, gets the fist on it, gets it out of the 18. But his opponents have it. Oh, another corner.
Going to be Couvert from the corner as he moseys his way over. 14 and a half minutes have gone by here in the first half. A 0-0 game.
And once again, Highline's got 10 players back below the penalty spot. Oh.
It's like a little slip up that time by Jaylani.
I think that was, Alan Ayub, completely mishit that ball as it came across. Especially on a day like today, it really pays to take that extra touch. Once again, trying to do the really difficult thing, and it's a goal kick for Highline. Foul called on Highline.
Want to talk about a couple more brave souls. How about the ones down there doing the photography work for us? Tracy Swisher. Down there looked like he just got out of the shower when we saw him in the press box a minute ago.
There you go. Kind of did just come out of the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Went right back into it. Eric Jones in under the free kick.
And that'll go wide, and it'll end up a goal kick for the Thunderbirds.
Whatcom's kind of going in high and either high, wide, and handsome, or high into the penalty spot. Try to win a ball in the air.
Kick from Kasim's going to be chested up by McLeroy. Now Balmer chasing it, and it'll go out of bounds. Going to be a throw in for Whatcom.
Good defense by Couvert there, cutting Balmer off.
Backtracking a bit, they're going to get it to Jones. Jones across midfield, and waiting for it is going to be Jinho Bay. And out of bounds, another throw in for Whatcom. They're wasting no time. Throw comes across midfield. And Jinho Bay waiting for it again. Headed backwards. And here's Runsfold. Another throw in for Whatcom. And again waiting for it, Jinho Bay.
If he keeps stepping up, haven't been able to do much. He'll win the ball, but he hasn't been able to kind of help Highline get possession. But up, another striker coming in late.
Looks like it was Balmer that time. Crowder gives off over the close side to Keegan Couvert.
Down the line, cut out by
McLeroy.
Yeah, McLeroy's had a good game.
Just keeping it in bounds. Now off the foot of Ayub. And now Jaylani.
All over, they got two players running for it, but it's not going to be playable as it goes out.
Be a throw in for the Thunderbirds.
First quarter hour into the books, no score.
Approaching the 20-minute mark. Throw comes in, and Balmer ends up winning it. And it will go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in for Whatcom.
Balmer with a pretty physical challenge there. There's a lot of grabbing.
That
was Couvert again. Yeah, Couvert knocked over Balmer. Balmer went down fairly easily, but I mean Couvert ran him over.
Jaylani tries to find Johnson further down the field. Maneuvering it now, Hunter Montgomery. And here comes Jaylani again. And it looks like he didn't exactly know where Balmer was heading.
Yeah, he played it to where he wanted Balmer to be. Balmer was not really planning on making that run right then. But right now, possession's been pretty cheap. When they give it up, Whatcom's been able to give it back.
McLeroy
nice little touch.
Trying to get it to Conte. McLeroy has to backtrack. Tries to center it, and it's going to end up as the first corner.
Goal kick.
Oh, a goal
no,
kick.
it was off Balmer or McLeroy there, and out for the goal kick.
Crowder set, and here it comes.
Great serve.
Winning that one's going to be Wayne.
Yeah, flicked on.
And
That
Johnson just able to get to it, keeping it in play. Conte in the vicinity. Runs full. Gets it to Jaylani, and now battle going on with Black. It's going to be chested up by Kazim. They'll go to McLeroy on the near side. Crosses midfield. just able to save it.
Yep. Dylan Murphy got plowed over, and he'll get a free kick out of the deal. Jelani going over to take it. He cleared that. Got run over for his trouble. Conte wasn't even looking when that ball got hit.
And Johnson going way up top, just over his head, and it's going to sail out of bounds for a goal kick. Crowder giving a moment to get his team situated downfield.
Long ball. Whatcom wins it.
It's Herrera. Go to Wayne on the outside and taking it back now.
Herrera did a great job keeping that ball alive, but they're not really getting much out of it.
And Black.
And then Maryville asked for the ball, had no idea who was around, turned it over.
And Black will just get to this one. It'll go back to Runsfold. Runsfold crosses the field, trying to get it to McLeroy. And Jaylani.
Rolling for Highline.
It's going to go to Balmer. Balmer tries to go back to McLeroy, and it goes to Jaylani. Middle to Runsfold. Runsfold crosses it up. It's going to be Sanchez. Sanchez tries to put it up for Conte. Instead of waiting to head it, is going to be Cameron Miller. And Riley Johnson now will give it back to Runsfold. Runsfold again will go outside to Black. Black lines up, takes a shot. It's going to go off the defender, Eric Jones.
It was off Conte.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, no call a goal kick, but that's really dangerous. I mean, you've got Tyler Black cranking a shot from about 25, 30 yards out. Conte is right between him and the keeper. That ball could have gone anywhere. It went out, but it didn't have anything to do with what Whatcom's doing. That was just, Highline getting a guy in a good spot. And that thing could have bounced over his head or, in the goal in a number of different ways. There's a long serve, and now they get a throw in deep down the field.
Out of bounds off the knee, it looked like the Fernando Sanchez.
Yeah, and you'll see now that we've just crossed the midpoint of the first half, I'm thinking you're going to start to see both teams settle down a little bit, a little more possession on the floor like right here. Nice ball in.
Boy, and there's no question that Conte can outrun his opponent out there, Cameron Miller. The problem is ball just a little too far outside, and Miller able to get it out of bounds.
Yeah, no question. He's the fastest kid out here.
And it's going to be a free kick for Whatcom. Crowder sets it up.
Still no shots and no shots on frame yet this game. So we get into the start to go downhill last 20 minutes of the half. Neither team's really had a chance at goal.
Well, both teams have one shot on goal and four shots apiece.
Oh, there we go as we refresh. 4 shots. Oh, miss-hit there.
And here's Herrera with a chance.
Slides it across. He slotted that across. He had a runner. It was about a 1-on-4. And Whatcom almost got on the end of that. I think, it's real easy in the press box to say, man, he should have just taken the shot there. But I think you definitely hear coaches saying, hey, wish he was a little more selfish. And now Herrera drags the ball around a couple people, takes a deflection, and it's caught.
Easily that time by Kasim.
Kasim rolls it out quickly.
And here's Riley Johnson moving quickly. He's got Balmer on the near
Offsides.
side.
He needed to keep that ball coming over to Balmer. And he saw a seam, and it was a great ball, but That was offsides all the way, so. It was one of those situations where the central runner figures it's okay to be a step offsides because you're going to play it wide. He'll get on that, and didn't expect that direct pass. Little flick from Ayub.
It's going to go off the foot that time of Murphy.
Yep, Whatcom throw. See what they want to do.
And they'll do it again. You expect to see more Orcas in the box for this throw?
Well, we'll see. On the men's side, you don't need that many guys in the box. They got 3. Here comes 4. They got plenty of guys in there. 5 now. So, yep, they're going to stack the box a little bit. They're kind of going 2 and 3. 2 down low. And that's going to be a goal kick. Interesting little play, and they got possession. They got the ball thrown in, and they had a touch on it at the near post. Couldn't do anything to get it across, but good effort by Whatcom, and all with relatively low risk. And now Highline gets a goal kick.
Kasim lines up for it.
Good win.
Balmer will go backwards to McLeroy. Now off the head of Cooverts. Here's an opportunity on the outside.
Long ball in, closed down quickly by Highline. Gavin McLeroy came from nowhere to close that ball out, but couldn't do anything but concede a corner. And now Whatcom gets a chance to hit what you'd think would be an in-swinging corner against Kasim, who's not the tallest goalkeeper you're ever going to see. And it's taking Whatcom a little time to retrieve the ball in the pouring rain here. That field's going to get increasingly waterlogged. I'm not sure how that's going to impact, skillful play.
Here it comes.
Good ball in. Punched by Kasim, and there's some contact, and the referee seen enough there, and it's going to be a free kick for Highline.
So again, Highline trying for the championship sweep as the Highline women's team already claimed the 2017 women's trophy just a few hours ago.
Yep, big win for Highline, avenging the lost Peninsula last year. As the referee stops the game, I think you got a Whatcom player coming off here.
Indeed, on his way out, it's going to be Alan Ayub.
Adrian Vasquez, I think, coming in.
Jones will wait for it. Conte attacking, and it's going to be booted by Crowder.
Another long ball. Conte
offsides again.
Left a half step early there. He had the angle. There wasn't anything Whatcom could do, but he definitely was a step offside. So Whatcom right back at it as we close in on the last third of the first half here. 30th minute right now. See some Highline players celebrating their championship with some really nutritious hot dogs from the concession stand there.
Oh, yeah. Breakfast of champions.
Hey, it's a great day for it,
Oh, yeah.
As Whatcom wins it.
Let's go down and get a hot dog and some coffee.
There you go. Probably better food, more nutritious than some of the stuff I've eaten today. You guys have a stack of treats in the press box.
It's
going to be even more of me come tomorrow.
On a steady diet of licorice and pastries.
There you go. Yeah. Want to thank Allie Krause particularly for the nutritious pizza here.
Oh, absolutely.
That was critical to getting through the day. This is it's our second broadcast, but it's our fourth game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 All-Star games in the morning, and now capping it off with the men's championship here in the 31st minute. And Kasim wanted to get that ball just in the right place. 3 feet in front of the first time he put it down.
And we get to do this all again in about 4 days in Tacoma.
Well, you guys on your own for volleyball. Nobody thinks I'm knowledgeable about volleyball. There's some argument about soccer, but
it's a little
Highline gets the ball into the corner. They'll get a throw in here. This is some pretty decent possession for Highline, but as Whatcom's very organized defensively. He's able to win it.
I think he'll be booted out by Eric Jones.
Yeah, Eric Jones, a little bit of a panic clear. He should have been able to look up and kind of see the situation and read it. He just made sure he got the thing out of there. Comes back into the box.
Well over,
but Riley Johnson was able to step in and hit it, and they're going to give him credit for a corner kick. He's not – that's got to sting. I mean, he hit that ball and he hit the defender at the same time, and I think you'll see him recover in a minute, but this creates an interesting situation for Highline. They've got some good-sized bodies to throw at this. Whatcom's leaving 3 players high. A little bit of a risky move, and it's going to pull. The reason you do it is they pulled a Highline player out of the corner kick play because you want to stay numbers up if you're Highline, so you don't concede the counterattack. Nice ball across. Still controlled by Highline, but under pressure. And here comes Whatcom.
That would be
Maryville.
Noah Foster.
Oh,
no correction.
Yep.
That's Maryville. 21-12. I'm starting to develop.
And Herrera was able to, Maryville had it, played it into Herrera. Herrera, got possession, got it on his right foot, got his body right, and was able to get the ball between 2 defenders, just finished high. So, yeah, you get into that second game and the numbers start to flip on you.
Oh, yeah.
Ballmer with a good challenge. He didn't win it, but he got it through. Conte wasn't really able to control it, but he's able to get a good tackle in.
Boy, there's Black.
On Zach, what's his name? Wana?
Zach Wayne.
He got a good tackle in on Zach Wayne, and Whatcom was a little fortunate to eventually earn a throw in here.
Throwing it in is going to be Couvert.
Long throw. There's Herrera, but he's 1-on-3, and McLeroy is going to play that ball into touch, as they say.
Throw comes in.
Cameron Miller had to run about 50 yards back to get that other ball off the field so they could keep playing. And now here's Highline.
Riley Johnson
was looking. He was looking for Tyler Black. They couldn't quite connect. Zach Wayne stepped in between there, and I'm curious to see. They're going to say, is it a free kick or is that going to be a throw-in? Okay. There's the throw.
Along with the crowd who couldn't believe it, neither could Black.
Well, Black, I think the referee kind of split the difference on that one. Black fouled the Whatcom player, and it may have been off the Whatcom guy. The referee didn't really want to call the foul. He said, And here's the referee proactively, talking to Adrian Vasquez there, saying, "Hey, you can't come in on a tackle like that." It's the kind of thing where if the referee lets it go, the game's going to get very, very physical. So, trying to let people play and keep a little bit of a flow, but also make sure players are safe and the boundaries of what you're going to go along, what's legal and what's not are clear. As McLeroy goes in the stands for the ball there.
It's like it got launched in one of our NWAC banners.
Yep. Balmer knocks it off of Couvert there. Couvert.
Throw in from Balmer. It's going to go to Conte.
Conte finds a huge seam, and Riley Johnson made a run in. There was a coming together there. Referee didn't feel like there was a foul. Crowder had an easy time in the end, just sort of smothering it, but that was a dangerous seam that opened up. Big seam between the center back and the outside back on the right side of the Whatcom defense, and Johnson was coming in there at full speed.
And Jaylani
with a nifty little pass, and then Whatcom feels like the best move there is to chop him down rather than let Highline develop an attack. So that's going to let everybody sort of reset, and there's the free kick. Looking for Johnson again.
And wisely lets it go out of bounds.
Yeah, well, he's running with speed at those backs, and that's putting, even though he wasn't all that close to Garrison Lee, Lee didn't have a lot of choices, had to try to head it and kind of anywhere but here, and now Highline gets the throw. Here's their first substitution of the game, and Whatcom's as well.
Checking into the match for Whatcom is number 10, Elaine Merhula, for number 19, Adrian Vasquez, and for Highline, number 20.
So it's going to be a kick here for Crowder.
Mitchell.
Miguel Marcias checks in for Highline.
Marcias and Foster for Whatcom.
It's actually going to be Merhola who checks in.
Ah, there you go. I was thinking it was 10, not 21. So, and now Whatcom with a throw, about 30 yards up. Chance to do something. They're just going to play a short throw though, or a relatively short throw. It goes in the box anyway.
Jelani waiting for it.
Nice little touch, and he got blocked off. He made a nice little touch to play it through, and then looked like he was playing it to nobody. I think the problem was that he got blocked off by one of the Highline defenders, who's going to get a yellow card. There's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. This is going to be interesting. You can see the referee taking his time. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 19-yard free kick rather than a penalty. But you can see the referee taking his time, looking at his assistant, making, hey, was this in the box? Do we need to put it in the box? Can we take it out of there? Still waiting to see who actually got the yellow card.
Noah Runsvold, who was issued the yellow card.
Oh, there you go. Rumsvold, number 3, just stepped in front of that attack and blocked him off. So free kick in a very dangerous position. If there's anything, it might be a little bit too close for a shot. So do you put the ball up into the far post and sort of hang it up and see if you guys can out-jump them, or do you go ahead and try to bury it? The keeper for Highline is a little bit behind his wall. I wouldn't be real pleased with where he's standing. And Whatcom missed that kick, but you might want to log in for later. Kasim stood more or less behind his wall on that play, and there was space at the far post. Whatcom they weren't able to hit it, but the space was there. So we're in the 38th minute here, closing in on halftime. There may be another free kick going forward, and there will be space, evidently, if that's how he's going to position himself.
And now they're going to go ahead and stop the clock.
He's signaling for it. I think you have the substitute, Merhula, colliding with McLeroy. Honestly, it was a reckless. Both players went in pretty recklessly. And the official's making a substitute motion. So Highline going to bring out Conte here for the last 6 minutes and a half, or 5 minutes.
Number 14, Dane Eminger.
So
number 10.
Dane Eminger goes up top. So he got some fresh legs. But Conte, I guess they're going to give him a little bit of a rest before halftime. If you're Whatcom, you got to think, maybe it's worth making some hay while the sun shines here, because Conte is so dangerous. Here it comes.
Jaylani doing battle with Murrayville.
Murrayville, the captain for Whatcom, driving down that side. They couldn't get really anything out of it in the end. And here comes the counter for Highline.
Black on the outside.
He has room. He's going to get a corner. He just drove that ball right into Zach Wayne and earned a corner kick. That'll give everybody a chance to get, it's great to get the corner. On the other hand, it's going to give everybody a chance to get set up, and they were kind of in transition, so there might have been a seam there. Only 3 players in the box for Highline right now because Whatcom, if you see, they're hanging 3 forwards right at midfield. And it really forces Highline to drop at least 4 players. Now they're bringing somebody back in, and Highline didn't see it, or they're really kind of a man down. Whatcom wins it, and it's out, and here's a good chance for a counterattack for Whatcom. Dropped off into the midfield, and good defense for Highline.
It's going to be Mercedes coming away with it.
Yeah, Mercedes did a nice job to come back and win that ball, sniff out the counter. Whatcom initially had some numbers forward, but Highline did a really nice job being organized, dropping into seams, and preventing a quick counter. Here comes Maryville again.
And Runsvold.
Yep, Highline. Look at that. Is that Herrera over there? I think Herrera, he just ran across the field, lost the ball, ran back 30 yards, and won it.
And it looks like Evinger's going to get a free kick for Highline.
Yeah, and then he gets called for the foul. Kind of a tough break after working very hard.
Into the final 5 minutes of normal time. And they're going to send Black over to do the kicking.
Once again, Highline, you feel like they're a little bit shutting it down before the half here. Getting 3 players forward. Here comes Jaylani, so a little bit of a fourth. They're saying, hey, if we can get in here, we're definitely going to try, but we're going to be very, very responsible. Whatcom wins that ball. Maryville. Now they're going to try to go forward again. Counter is on if they can find it, and they do.
Montgomery
just a little bit too deep. He had Foster, the substitute, running in that right channel, but he couldn't quite get it in between that last. It was a very tight window to try to hit it between the last defender and Akili Kasim, and he wasn't able to quite pull that one off, especially on the turf.
And McLeroy kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Orcas.
And we're closing on halftime, and much like the first game, no score. We're looking, Whatcom officially 6 shots to 4. Each team has 1 on the frame, so not a lot of quality opportunities for either team at the moment. Really, the best chances have come to Whatcom. Highline's looked really dangerous every time they've had the ball. And you had the free kick, and here's maybe a chance. Nope, easily cut out in the end by Couvert, and eventually cleared. But that free kick, where I think they had Kasim in a little bit of an exposed position if they could have found that side of the net. And then early on, a throw-in that bounced across the face of goal. And those were the two best chances of the game, both really half chances. And there, Maryville. Couvert sliding, a sliding defender, and then Kasim is alert to prevent the corner. And the referee is going to stop play here to check on an injured Thunderbird.
Looks like Jinho Bay, who's down, gets up on his own power. And they're going to have to bring in a substitute.
There you go. They're going to change that up. Was Bay the player who slid in there?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah, so he probably tweaked his ankle a little bit on that slide tackle.
So Ballmer checks back in.
Yep, Black comes off. Ballmer comes in. Looks like Bay's going to try to stay out there. Or have they got him off already?
No, he's still out there. He's
Yep.
right in front of the box.
Yeah, I think he's going to. And now Whatcom's going to throw the ball back into the goalkeeper for Highline, and we'll restart play. There we go. As we get into the last 90 seconds of normal time in the first half. Kasim blasts the ball down the field.
Johnson waiting for it.
Yeah, well won by Highline, but he's dribbling back at his own goal. They switch it. McLeroy. Oh.
A little bit of a...
Ballmer with a clever little dummy, but nothing came from it. Now we're down to the last minute. Kasim on the ball under very little pressure.
Murphy.
I think both teams now. Oh, just as I say that, a little bit of a slack pass across the face of his own defense by McLeroy, and
Murphy able to get it back across midfield.
Yeah, his teammates bailed him out there because he had played Whatcom into a very dangerous position. It's still going to be a throw-in for Whatcom here, but 30 seconds left in the half, and Highline's going to get numbers back. Throws it down the line. And there's Herrera, who's been a live wire in the first half. Done a nice job. Plays it back.
Tries to go to Montgomery. Montgomery trying to make a move on the outside now.
He's getting forward, but he's 1-on-2. They're really playing, 2-on-3 there. There's a long ball across. Herrera can't get on the bounce. Dylan Murphy can, and Highline's out.
Runsfold.
We're in stoppage time now, and you'd think that referee's got his whistle in his mouth, and there's the halftime whistle right there. So
another competitive first half, a 0-0 score. And we'll step away, but don't go anywhere. Halftime report coming up after a brief word from our sponsors.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a Guard engineer.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you. For them. Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
This is Combine Training.
I will.
And a big welcome back to Starfire. Wes Tucker along with Dave Morris. Been with you all day. Going to be with you for at least another 45 minutes.
At least another 45. Who knows? Maybe a little bonus soccer at the end of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we wouldn't be any strangers to it. We've seen it twice up here in the broadcast booth. Once today, once on Friday.
Yep, two out of three on the women's side. And we'll see if we do 2 out of 3 on the men, or if they can we can find a way to separate these two teams in regulation. Really even first half.
So
not much between these teams.
Big story so far. Defense of Whatcom has been able to shut down the big offensive attack by Adame Conte. We've seen him get free once or twice, but that's when he's been offsides.
Yeah, he really hasn't been able to do. I mean, Whatcom hasn't had any real. I mean, he's a dynamic player, and he's clearly dangerous. But Whatcom's done a good job, and it's pretty easy if you're offsides. Then you're going to look really open. But I don't think he's been. Whatcom doesn't look like they're particularly unbalanced by him. Riley Johnson was able to make a run there late in the half, and the Whatcom defense was able to get over and cover that, but it was a kind of a last-second job. Both teams, I think the story of the first half was organized defense, kind of feeling each other out. You figure in a final, people are going to be a little tight. You're not going to see a lot of wide-open soccer in the first half. Add the rain, safety first. You saw, it's almost impossible to get a lot more even than this. Each keeper has 1 save, 3 corners for Whatcom, 2 for Highline. Fouls are 8 to 7. It's been a physical game. I think the officials have done a good job kind of trying to keep a lid on it, keep it positive and physical within the bounds of the game, and I think that's where we're at. Both teams, they're playing 3 strikers. They're trying to pressure the opponent's back line. They have created a couple turnovers. Whatcom created one late in the half there where I think it was McLeroy played a sort of a slack pass across the face of his own defense, but a couple of his teammates bailed him out, won the ball back. Same thing happened earlier in the half when Whatcom made a mistake. And so far, neither goalkeeper's really been tested, and it's going to take something special to break either of these defenses down.
So if you had to give the first half a headline, what would you go with?
I'd say the headline for this half was 45 minutes down and nothing to separate two teams. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
All right, and again, this is our chance to say goodbye once more to a friend that's been with us for a little while now. Next time the camera comes our way, it's not going to be between us. It'll be in the hands of either the Highline team or the Whatcom team. And we'll find out who that's going to be in just a short while, so stick around. More NWAC soccer coming your way from Starfire Stadium.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
I'm Deborah Jackson. I work at STCU. During the windstorm of 2015, we were expecting that members would need any number of things. I was talking with a colleague. It popped into my head that why can't we do something to help offset that cost for our members and our community? So that day we came up with the Get It Fixed loan. Everyone was on board with it. It was done that day. Being part of this community and involved and invested as we are, when we see a need like that, we take the action. I'm Deborah Jackson, and STCU is here for good.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
And a big welcome back to Starfire Stadium. Wes Tucker and Dave Morris on the call. Dave will be right back up in just a quick minute. In the meantime, I've got you all to myself, and we're just about ready to start the second half of play. A 0-0 score. So far, each team with one shot on goal as we enter the second half. Whatcom with an early boot down the field. And going to be waiting for it that time is Sanchez. And on the outside, here goes Johnson. And big welcome back to Dave Morris.
Good to be back there.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled away. You get that shortened halftime, and got to make sure you say goodnight to your toddlers before the halftime's over.
Well, of course, starting a minute early, according to our clock out there. Coming down and across, trying to get to Johnson.
Looks like we picked up right where we left off, both teams. A lot of diagonals, trying to make sure they stay safe.
And that one's going to be out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Thunderbirds. So, again, your headline at halftime was we're 45 minutes closer to overtime. And we'll see how that plays out as the...
Well, I think you got, 45 minutes down. Both teams have to think, okay, well, we got through the first half. We're in the final. We're in the game. Now's our opportunity to see if we can't put our stamp on things. And then Whatcom looking for Morhula, the substitute there on the far left side.
McLeroy.
A little bit of a hopeful ball. But, I think as the game goes on, you'll see it stretch out a little bit. There'll be openings for individuals to make some moves and be a little more creative. Right now, both teams are pretty compact. And it's been very hard. It's really hard to get a breakthrough. These are both very, very good teams, and they're very good defensively.
And McLeroy wins that battle on the far sideline.
Yeah, just got a little toe on the ball.
Adama Conte back in at the start of the second half.
Yeah, he was always in for a short rest.
And good win there from McLeroy. Gives it over the middle to Balmer. Balmer goes outside to Johnson. And Johnson
finds Conte really smooth bringing the ball down for Conte. Nice little pass into Balmer, but read by the Whatcom. It got read well by the Whatcom defense, and they were able to come across, make a play. But Highline plays like that, they're starting to get some possession. Conte was trying to run through, got tangled up.
Goes diagonal to Johnson. Johnson on the header.
Once again, Whatcom has a clear in the defense with Conte lurking, waiting for any mistake, and they turn it over right here. Jelani plays it in, headed across.
Johnson getting tangled up now.
Yep, he's going to go down and create a free kick situation for Highline here. About 20 yards out. And now it's Highline's turn to take a dangerous set play. As the official paces off the 10 yards, he's going to have to convince Whatcom to back up here. The Orcas trying to stay close to the free kick. Looks like this is all Conte's right here. Keeper sets the wall. He likes where they're at. Once again, set a little bit. The goalkeeper's final position is pretty central. You have to think there's room there. Conte leaves it. And it
goes off the
blasted into the wall by Riley Johnson. Back in and back out.
Sanchez waiting for it. Goes over the middle to Jaylani. Murphy there, and now Runsfold. And they'll go to Sanchez on the outside. Tries to go on the outside, instead it's going to go out of bounds.
That's going to go out. Whatcom will get the throw there. Whatcom was trying to get a substitute in there, and nobody on the field noticed it. Ball gets flicked down.
Montgomery
has an opportunity. He's going to get a corner there. Montgomery a little bit robust in preventing Sanchez from getting over there to save that corner. The referee decided to let that go.
See Runsfold actually laying into the referee that time.
Well, there's always a little more talk in the men's game. Did they get their sub? They still haven't made their substitution. And that's a little surprising. I mean, they've got a dead ball situation. They can sub here. Maybe the coach said to wait because they certainly could have substituted. He pulled the guy back, I guess. Ball into the small box, headed off the crossbar.
Wow.
What a header. I think that was number 10, Mafula. Had a free header 6 yards from goal. Kasim left for dead. Had no chance. Ball hits the crossbar, bounces out. Luckily for Highline to a Highline player, and the Thunderbirds take it out of there. I think you could revise the headline. It's like Orcas. When an Orca fights a Thunderbird, there's really nowhere to have the battle. And here comes Whatcom again with Mahula running at the Highline defense. And who's the foul on? It's going to be on Whatcom.
Waiting for an official number.
There's our first caution of the day.
Second, Runsfold in the
second
first half.
of the day, sorry. That's Herrera.
Yep. Ariel Herrera.
Who's a hard worker, does a great job, covers a lot of ground. Really was a dangerous presence in the first half, but now he's going to play on a yellow card. And Kasim gets ready to hit this ball long. You're not seeing a lot of variation in free kicks or anything like that. I mean, they're basically going to play that ball up the field. Looks like the rain stopped, so the field's probably still slick, but at least you're not kind of getting damper and damper as the night goes on here, at least temporarily.
Johnson on the outside.
Nice move.
Doing battle with Murrayville.
Yeah, one on three there, and eventually Whatcom comes up with the ball. Here's where Maryville, you hope that you've got somebody who can calm the game down and switch the point of attack, which is exactly what Whatcom just did. Get out of there, because both teams were playing, two versus three, 1 versus 3 in possession. You're not going to really break through that way. Tough touch there from Eric Jones, and Highline's back on the attack.
Runsfold to Conte.
Conte, defender slipped. Conte looking for a window, shots blocked. Best he can do is get himself a throw-in. So he got out there, the first defender slipped, but he had two players out there with him, and he couldn't quite get around him.
Doing the throw-in is going to be Sanchez.
Gets it back, nice ball across.
Johnson on the header.
A looping header, it's still in play. If Conte can keep it in, he drives it in the ground. It's a dangerous ball. Still a dangerous ball. Maryville eventually settles it, and Watt comes out.
Kazim signals, I'll take it.
Skips that ball on the turf. And Whatcom has to force that ball out of bounds. Once again, Highline running at that Whatcom defense at speed. Conte got that ball across, and I think it was Riley Johnson with the header. He wasn't able to get all of it, but it was a dangerous situation, and Whatcom looked like they had him marked, and then really didn't contest the header.
And sub coming in now for Whatcom.
So that's going to be Couvert off. I'm not sure who's on.
In the match for Whatcom, is number 7, Kawika Zarko, for number 16, Keegan Cooper.
So Zarko will check in for his first minutes of the championship game. As this one will go out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in.
Takes some confidence to be number 7, you know, and in soccer, that's a big number. There's a little back header. Whatcom's in. Oh.
Just high.
Is that Foster, the substitute? On the right side there.
Indeed it is.
I think it is.
But anyway, you're saying about number 7.
Yeah, he got himself in a good position, and they're going to have to retake that goal kick. Got to let that ball come out all the way out of the box. Do it again. But Whatcom, they've got a crossbar this half. And 21, I mean, Foster just had a, you know, somewhat contested shot, but 12 yards from goal, right side. That's a tough deal. And here he comes again.
Go well into the crowd that time.
Sanchez, that's the old coaching point, you know, like if you're not sure what you ought to be doing.
Whoa, 2 balls in play.
Referee's going to get control of that fairly quickly. You know, if you're not sure what to do, they can't score from up in the top of the stands, and that's pretty much where that ball ended up. Highline trying to clear. Whatcom's trying to bring it down top of the area. They do. Shot's blocked. It's bouncing around, rattling around, and Highline does eventually send it clear, but Whatcom gathers up the pieces. Another deflection, and Marhula forces a Whatcom throw deep on the left side. And Whatcom starting to string together a little pressure here. They're getting numbers forward. They've pushed Highline back. Highline's basically got 10 guys in their own penalty area right now. And it looks like Whatcom's going to look for a long throw into the 18.
It'll be Herrera to do the throw.
And the referee caught him. I wondered if the referee was going to say anything there. Herrera stepped over that line. And I'm wrong. They're calling. So they must have called some contact underneath that ball. I thought Herrera stepped on the field as he threw it in. The assistant referee on that side was waving the flag. But they got a free kick, not a throw-in. So there was something else that the referee called.
Morville gives on the far sideline. Herrera in the vicinity.
And free kick for Highline. Not much in that. Herrera just leaning on the defender, hoping to keep him from turning. Highline decided it'd be easier to go down and take a free kick than try to turn.
Kazim to do the honors. Across midfield, they're waiting for it. Johnson. And Kasim says, I'll take care of that.
Yeah. Not a bad idea to go over the top, but none of the Whatcom forwards were in a position to make a run for that ball. And
well, here's Runsfold.
And here comes Highline at speed. Blocked by the substitute Zarko there. And now here comes Whatcom. Two v one. Ball's on the right side.
Gets an opportunity to center it. The
second
shot,
man in. It's a goal.
Highline takes the lead.
Gavin McLeroy coming in late. You had Conte in the middle of the field. I think it was Johnson. Was it Johnson who came down the right side there? Or Balmer?
I believe it was
Johnson. And Johnson came down the right side, would not look up, was not going to pass the ball to anybody. The defense, was committed to him. Montgomery, it was a 2-on-1. Montgomery and Johnson went for the ball. Johnson got it, beat Montgomery. Montgomery was recovering. All the help kind of came to that side. Could have slotted. Johnson could have slotted it across for a finish. Really wasn't going to be deterred from taking the shot. Keeper makes the save. It bounces. The save goes beyond Conte, but you've got McLeroy coming in late, and bang. 1-0, just like that. Kind of against the run of play. It's 1-0 Highline, and we're in the 60th minute. Half hour left in the match, and now Whatcom has it all to do. Highline 30 minutes away from sweeping the NWAC Soccer Championships.
Montgomery up the near sideline, tries to loop it over some defenders. They're waiting for it is Bay. And McLeroy comes away with it. And will go well out of bounds.
We'll see how long Whatcom can go without making some kind of a tactical change to try to press forward a little bit. For right now, I mean, they've got a half an hour, plenty of time to just keep playing. They've been creating, opportunities.
Looks like Crowder is going to take care of it.
Long looping ball. Foster pulls it down, but
it's going to be a throw in for Whatcom. Jinho Bay wins it, but it will go out of bounds.
Bay's had a terrific game, that right back spot. And Highline, they had to live dangerous. Now you got Conte, and he's going to get called for the foul there. But Highline living dangerously defensively for a little while. They score on the counter, and now, they can sit in and let Conte use his speed as Whatcom commits players forward. Really dangerous situation for Whatcom. And here comes McDonald down that side again. And that was out of bounds. It's just going to be a goal kick. And that outside track around the field, the apron on this field's not all that big. And in slick conditions like that, it does worry you a little bit as players go onto that concrete. Those guys both slid off the field.
Into the match for Whatcom is number 23, Kanjoa Tandia, for number 8, Hunter Montgomery.
So Montgomery checks out.
It's an interesting substitution there. Not sure what Montgomery may have come up a little sore or something.
It's going to be a throw in for the Thunderbirds. It's going to be Tandia taking over for Montgomery.
Well, we'll see if that does anything to Whatcom's shape. Doesn't look like it right now.
We go backwards to Jones.
Well, they're probably going to push forward a little bit more. Tandia looks more like a midfielder than a out-and-out defender. Offsides. Referee doesn't look over, and there's no call. Okay. Flag went up and then went back down. Whatcom with the ball in the middle of the park. A little bit of a long, hopeful ball. Headed wide. Foster's going to let this roll out for another throw-in. Whatcom certainly looks good for a goal here. But Highline's also been good defensively. They've got numbers back. They got Conte's coming back. They have 10 players literally inside the penalty area on this throw. And Whatcom, they've got 10 players in the penalty area. And Whatcom ends up, they flick it on. Whatcom wins it. And they end up challenging the goalkeeper 2-on-1. You'd really like to see somebody get between the Whatcom players and your goalkeeper.
Conte with the ball as it's stolen.
Yeah, good tackle there by Whatcom, but right back to Conte in the box. Last second poked away.
It'll be a corner.
Zach Wayne, big play there. If he doesn't get that toe out there, this game's dead and buried. Because you just don't see either team coming back from a 2-0 deficit. Highline sets up there, threatening a short corner. They've only got, you can see they only have 2 players in the penalty area here. Ball gets served in.
Jaylani doing battle
yeah,
with
Jaylani.
Foster.
They have 2 players in the box and they end up winning it. They don't really get much of a chance to score, but they got possession.
And looks like it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be off the foot.
Yeah, I think that was off Balmer, and they're going to make him give it up. And see, Balmer puts the ball down on the concrete, gives himself time to run back. He didn't just hand it to that guy to throw over his head.
Jones, long kick.
Yeah, nothing tricky about that. Long ball. Headed out. There's Zarko. But he finds himself 1-on-3 and not a great first touch. And here comes Johnson again.
Going to go on the other side to Balmer.
Yep, he's got Conte in the seam. If he can find him, he's going to go back out even wider to Johnson. Johnson could take Zarko to the end line if he wants to. Instead, he just waits and gets a throw in. As we head into the 66th minute. Doesn't look like Highline's all that concerned about a second goal. They're really content to take time and possess right now. A lot of confidence in their defending.
In for Whatcom, number 12, Jerry Burvale. For number 21,
Here comes in off of Black.
For Highline,
yeah, well,
into the match. Number 8, Mohamed Jaylani. For number 5, Riley Johnson.
So,
multiple player substitution.
Couple substitutes, but really what just happened is Whatcom was resting Maryville, who's one of their really creative players in the midfield. And now he's back out a little bit rested for that last push for the last 25 minutes or so. So I wonder if giving up the goal, Whatcom would have liked to have sat him just a couple more minutes. But I think they felt like they couldn't really keep him out. Because right now their attacks become fairly predictable. And there is Tandia challenging Sanchez on the right side. Another throw in for Whatcom. Over to Jones. Dangerous ball across. And it gets hooked clear, but then turned over. It's 1-on-1.
Conte.
And Conte was in. Jones was in good position. Got a little bit tangled up with Conte, went down. Conte, I'm sure, is frustrated. I think he figured he'd won the ball, but usually referees are loath to let that kind of a thing go. Little touch by Sanchez. Tandia tries to put it back across.
And Kasim smothers it.
Whatcom, right end to end. Free kick, one touch. Whatcom's in the box. Tandia really unlucky. Sanchez with a really game-saving little tackle there. Didn't completely clear it, but put Tandia in a tough spot. And all he could do is push it across to the goalkeeper. Pretty harmless ball in the end, but Whatcom serving notice that this thing's not over by any stretch. Nice ball into the midfield for Zach Wayne. Can't quite find Zarko.
We go out to Balmer. Balmer on the head, and looks like
that's going to be a Whatcom throw here.
Yes.
Right in there, number 5. We're trying to work out who that is. And here's the counter for Highline. Shot. Oh, nice save. Crowder came across there and smothered that ball. Conte got in between those two center backs, basically. Whatcom, 20 minutes to go, really. What is the 70th minute of the game now? So 20 minutes to go. And they've pushed their wide defenders up. So they're kind of playing a 2-5-3. And Conte's trying to get in the middle of those two center backs and split them.
They go back to Crowder. Crowder will give it right back to Jones.
Jim Jones faced up under very little pressure. And Highline's responded by really going, they're in that 4-5-1. Conte's the one striker. There's a ball in. Dangerous.
Tipped up and over.
Kasim, he got caught off his line and was able to recover. Nice stop in the end to push that ball over the bar. Give Herrera, I think that was Herrera, give him credit. He saw that Kasim was off his line, and that thing was headed into the upper part of the goal. Kasim had to be alert and get back and make the play. And now he's got Herrera standing between him and the goal. Once again, Highline, 10 players in the box defending this. Perfect ball in. 10 players in the box. The ball hits the ground, and Whatcom has it. Now here comes the counter. There's Conte, and he's got room to run.
Whoa, there's something.
And that.
No call.
That's a tough call. Number 8, Montgomery for Whatcom, ran right across Conte. And the referee said it was a shoulder-to-shoulder tackle. He's down there and we're up here, right?
True.
Well, you'd have to think Highline's a little frustrated right now. Conte looked like he was in there. You get a Whatcom player run across his body. They go down, and it's play on. And then you have a Whatcom player kind of throw themselves on the floor there. And now you've got a free kick about, 30 yards from goal on the far right side. You can see Highline setting up a very deep restraining line. This is a very dangerous ball. Well taken by Kasim. That free kick from Whatcom didn't quite find the far post. It was a little too near post for the forwards to get onto for Whatcom, but dangerous situation there. And Highline organized that restraining line, right about the penalty spot, pretty deep inside your 18. Gives the other team an opportunity to run in front of your goalkeeper, make it hard for him to claim the ball. There goes Marfala. Beat McLeroy.
Have to get back now.
Drops it. They've still got it.
And here's a shot. How about that?
And Kasim comes out of the goal and smothers that attempt. He didn't have much to do on the front side. The initial shot was blocked. Rolled across. I think that was Zach Wayne on the far post. Kasim just came out and smothered it. There's a free header. Kasim with the save. Ball's rattling around in the area. And
cleared.
It's finally cleared. This is going to be, now you got Conte. Didn't win that race either, but Whatcom wins it. And right back down. Marfala takes his time, swings it into the area.
Runsvold waiting for it.
Runsvold heads it clear, and Highline has an opportunity to settle it. They turn it over.
How about that?
And play on. They're calling advantage there. There's a foul on Whatcom. Nobody's going to stop for that guy. He's down, but I don't think that was a self-inflicted injury.
Moving a little slowly.
He'll recover in a second.
Absolutely.
I believe. Oh, here he goes. Substitutions for Highline. 73rd minute. We're closing in on the final quarter hour. It's 1-0, and Highline, they are hanging on by the skin of their teeth to that 1-0 lead. Since that goal, Kasim saved a 1v1 on the right side. Saved a header, a free header on a corner. Great save. And they've had the ball rattling around the penalty area all kinds of ways. Whatcom hasn't quite been able to get on the end of it.
And it's going to go.
Throw-in goes Highline's way. They were due a little bit of a break there, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
And they take their time throwing it in. you're getting down to the part of the game where it's really important for Whatcom to keep the ball on the field. You're going to see Highline leave that ball right where it is. Up. Now it's Highline throw. A little confusion down there, and meanwhile, we get to the 76th minute. The final quarter hour of the game, 1-0 Highline. The referee was blocked on that one and called it anyway.
Sanchez will throw to the corner.
Yep, came out really fast. That didn't quite work out the way I think he'd envisioned.
And offsides.
Offsides.
Tendia
was in behind, but he was in behind because he started about 3 seconds early. So that's great if you're playing basketball, but it doesn't work so good in soccer.
Not so much.
Well, it depends. If the officials are asleep at the switch, you might get a break. And there's Zarco, looking a little bit like Cristiano Ronaldo. Ball comes across. Not at all like Eric Cantona because he doesn't have a collar on his jersey.
Oh, no.
Tandia lays it off. Whatcom right back on the attack.
With it now, Wayne.
Plays that one right into McLeroy. That's a gift, and Highline can get out, but they only get to midfield. Jones gets it over to the mysterious number 5 there.
Yeah, still trying to figure that one out.
I'm going to solve that mystery here.
All right.
As they look to clear.
And here's
Marfalo challenging again.
Just able to keep it in.
Did he? No, he didn't.
Oh.
That's Brandon Barbosa Briones. I can see why you wouldn't want to put his name in the box score.
Wow, okay.
So Barbosa there on the right side.
You got to wonder why he's not on the...
Yeah, in the live stats. Probably his name doesn't fit in the live stats.
Yeah.
And Kasim, 77th minute. The sands of time ticking away on the Orcas here. Highline hanging on as Herrera tries to keep that in. He succeeds in preventing a goal kick. It's just a throw-in. Now can they transition fast enough? Whatcom to keep this ball in here. They're going to try to get some numbers over there. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yes.
Barbosa caught the ball. I think he felt like he was out of bounds.
Well, if
and
you think
the officials decided that he caught an inbounds. It'll be a handball.
Think about other NCAA rules. Both feet were in play. I mean, only need one in NCAA, but he made a fine catch.
Well, in soccer, it's just if the ball, it's all the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess, I'm not sure what that call was. I think they split the baby there. Gave Highline the throw. Under pressure. Jelani can't win it. Some really physical challenges from Whatcom. And the foul gets called on Highline there. 2 or 3 challenges. You hate to see those balls that are that high in the air. It's a real challenge for the official, and you get a lot of contact underneath the ball. But and Whatcom, they're just throwing their body at the ball. I think this is a direct kick. Bends it into the far post, headed away by Highline. Well done. Not sure which head got that, but it was well cleared. Throwing for Whatcom on the far side as we head into the 79th minute. Last 10 minutes of regular time, normal time here. And Whatcom going to throw the ball into the box. This time, Highline's decided to put 11 players into the box. They're going to come out as the throw-in comes in short. Now it gets wound in. Another purple body on the ball, and they're going to call, what are they calling? Offsides.
Oh,
no, they're calling. I think they're calling Whatcom for interfering with the goalkeeper. He came out, had some contact, but I don't see a referee put his hand up for an indirect kick. I don't see the assistant official signaling offsides. Kasim came for that ball. A Whatcom body Whatcom player got between him and the ball, headed it past him. And I guess the referee decided that there was too much interference with the goalkeeper's movements as he came out.
Jaylani will go up, finds Johnson on the far sideline.
Well, Johnson turns it over on a throw-in. Whatcom gets it in play quickly. And there's Maryville finding Marfala. Marfala diagonal. Cleared by Sanchez. Offsides. Which I think that was Johnson who's offsides, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Conte has been subbed out, hasn't he?
Conte is currently not in the field of play. That is correct.
So Johnson's up, and they've gone with an extra defender. Ball's in the 18. That's out.
Axel Mija came in replacing him. Mejia. Apologies, everybody at home.
And another substitution for Highline here. They're going to take off Tyler Black.
They're going to put in Evanger.
Evanger back in the game. He's going to go up top. I think they're going to drop Johnson a little deeper, maybe they've decided they're going to go ahead and try to push the ball forward a little bit. Sitting in has been, I would think, a little nervy for the Highline coaching staff, but good win there by Zarco. Whatcom trying to get out. They can't. It's off the field. That's going to let the clock run a little longer. I think you're going to start seeing some substitutions from Highline as well.
Well, you can see the Highline women's team all ready to race onto the field. Down there on the near sideline.
They've had a big day of the Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah.
There's Marfala. Of course, the Highline women will remember that Clark scored the tying goal in the dying moments on Friday in the semifinal, so we're not done yet.
Not at all.
Whatcom definitely looks like they're capable of putting the thing in the back of the net. They've been just about everywhere but there in the last 20 minutes or so. The shots are now 13-8. Shots on goal still 3-3 though. And once again, Whatcom gets to the end line. Cut back, Marfala, 6-yard box, trying to push it through, couldn't quite do it. A lot of bodies inside the penalty area right now as Whatcom just tries to bowl the ball through.
And it's finally cleared by McLeroy.
Scramble clear. Basically, you got 7 minutes left, and Highline's got 10 players inside the penalty box. You can talk about formations or tactics all you want. This is Whatcom's trying to get that ball in there, and they're hoping for a good bounce or being able to throw their body at it and win it. And Highline's trying to clear it. Ball comes out to Jones, and he tries the first time. That didn't quite work out the way he was probably planning. And Kasim is going to take an inordinately long time to take this goal kick. There's 2 balls on the field now. The referee hasn't even said anything yet. Oh, there's Kasim jogging over. A little backside-footed clear to get the ball against the fence. And into the night sky here in Tukwila at Starfire. Tandia gets that ball right on the top of the area. Herrera is able to pressure the defense, but Whatcom's back out in midfield. Barbosa drops it to Jones. That's a hospital ball. Jones solves it, beats 2 Highline players. Well done by Jones.
Just able to keep it in.
Just able to keep it in, and then Herrera, a nifty move around Rumsvold. Rumsvold was on a yellow card doing that.
I know, he's been.
That was a little bit of a chance. He didn't seem to get the referee's attention much on it, but.
Well, you would think that his barking at the referee afterwards would have.
Well, if you're a referee, you gotta kind of close your ears a little bit once in a while. Nice ball into the far post, easy pickup by Kasim. They're gonna call the foul. One of the Whatcom players kind of bumped him, and they're gonna let him put the ball down on the ground and clear it. Clock running down to the last 5 minutes of normal time. You're not gonna see a whole lot of added time here.
I don't think so.
Probably 2 or 3 minutes at least. You'd think at least 3 with a goal and all the substitutions. But we'll see. And here's Cameron Miller. He just runs the ball out of bounds and also runs Maryville all the way to the bleachers there. And it's going to be a Whatcom throw. I think that's going to be, they're taking out Barbosa. So here's the final push for Whatcom.
Into the match, number 19 for Whatcom, Adrian Vasquez. For number 5, Braden
Putting another striker in. Here's Marfala. He gets around the end. It gets loose. Right back across the face of goal. Somehow cleared by Highline. Goal kick? Are they calling? Is there an offsides there? I'm a little confused.
You gotta wonder.
I think they called some kind of offsides, or the way the referee was pointing may have been that clear bounced off of a Whatcom player on the way out. Because he was definitely, pointing. He looked at him and said, "Hey, I'm pointing right here. This is why. This is what it is." Jaylani heads it clear. Highline got to be thinking if we could just get some possession and relieve the pressure for a minute. Big play there by Balmer. Jaylani again into the box, looking for Johnson. Johnson turns and shoots and gets a corner. And if you're Highline, you're not in any hurry to take this. And I would assume they're going to try to kill some time in the corner of the field here once they play it back in. And I wouldn't expect them to play it into the box. Highline holding 5 players back right now. They have no players in the penalty area. This is going to be pretty simple. They touched it. Yep. And the referee sees it went out of bounds. No, saw an infraction there. Didn't like something, and it's going to be a Whatcom free kick. Halfway through the 87th minute. Marfala tried to save that, couldn't do it. And Highline under no pressure to throw this ball in anytime soon.
You gotta wonder at what point does a 1-goal lead become comfortable?
When the final whistle blows. That's
Absolutely.
easy. That's easy. Right then. And not one moment before. Soccer's a funny game. There's not a lot of scoring, and there's plenty of 1-0 leads, but till that whistle blows, one touch, and the game is turned on its head.
Making a run at it is Miller.
Yep. Good run, and Jaylani, good long ball. He was offsides. Going to be a free kick here in the 88th minute. There's the serve. You've got Whatcom, everybody up. Ball bounces twice, comes through, finally scrambled clear, only as far as Maryville. Battle of the captains there.
Up the near side.
Well, he couldn't get it in, and now it gets settled by Evinger. And it's a 4, well, almost was a 4-on-2. They've got number 7 Blomner wide open at the far post. They find him. I think he tried to dribble it with his hands. Yep, they're going to call a handball there.
Final 2 minutes.
Yep, 89th minute. Another long serve. Whatcom really needs to get on the end of this one way or the other. They don't do it. Zarko plays it in. It's going to be easily kept by Kasim, who really got a little too fancy there. But he's got the ball now. I don't think the 2 seconds he saved by chesting that ball down were worth it.
No.
But
made that look a lot harder than it had to be.
He'll take his time now, clear it. Jones wins the header there, but it only as far as Balmer. And now Evinger. Whatcom desperately needs to get the ball forward here. And now they're faced up. Tundia's at the far post screaming for the ball. And a really, really unnecessary tackle by Highline. Going to get a yellow card. You're in the 90th minute. The last thing you want to do if you're Whatcom is stop the clock here. If that's on Rumsfeld, that's his second and he's done. I can't tell who it is. There's a Whatcom player kind of bumped whoever that yellow card was on. He gets one too.
Huh.
If you're the coach at Whatcom, you're like, you just wasted 30 seconds when we needed the time. Highline now stepping up to the top of the 18, giving Kasim a little bit more room.
And here we go into the final minute.
Yep, and we're going to finish normal time right here. Whatcom's going to substitute. It looks like both teams have a substitute at the bench ready to come in.
And into stoppage we go.
Yep, and we're in stoppage time, and here comes 19 out for Whatcom. What just happened?
Looks like someone's taking a quick rest on the field.
I think he's saying he was injured.
Yeah.
So they're subbing for an injured player is what they're arguing. I think they're playing one short as they play this ball in the box. And it goes through, and it's going to be a goal kick. And you're going to see Kasim take his time. You got to be looking at about 5 minutes of stoppage time one way or the other here. And the referee's telling Kasim, you got to set this up. There's a substitution. You got Conte back in.
Garrison Lee returns for Whatcom. Lee puts it way up.
Jones.
Pardon, Jones, you're right.
Yeah, Jones hooked that forward. Whatcom's got, there's a foul again, 15.
And no call.
Yeah, no call, and got away with that one a little bit. You'd want him to be very careful right now if you're Highline. At the same time, everything's a scramble. It's hard for the officials too, Good win there. Ooh, Ramirez won a ball and then got blasted. Now it gets cleared.
Johnson on
Here's
the outside.
Johnson, long touch around Zarco. He's in. And
just wide.
Wide left. He had Conte at the far post. And here's Crowder getting it out to Zarco. Whatcom going to run back down the field. That's it. You got, both teams one way and then another. Here comes Whatcom, 20 yards out, looking to shoot. That's blocked by Ramirez, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Whatcom.
Herrera on that shot.
And one of the Highline fans thought he was clever, took the ball and hit it. The Whatcom player just ran over and grabbed the other ball, which was right next to where they were standing. Long serve into the area. Kasim comes up, drops it.
And it's out of bounds.
And Hunter Montgomery was in behind the goalkeeper and just couldn't quite get that on frame. Kasim dropped it. It fell to Montgomery, 6 yards out and wide of the mark.
And there it is.
There's the final whistle. Whatcom managed to hit just about everything but the back of the net.
And you can hear again PA announcer Marco Serdio wanting people to stay off the field, yet the women's team for Highline celebrates with the men's team as they've swept the NWAC championship.
Pretty tough when you get you get a sweep there. You're going to have some people on the field. What a great result for Highline. Great game. Kasim, 90 minutes, never did get pierced. And we have our NWAC champions. It's pretty easy, men and women. It's Highline.
Indeed. So we're going to have award presentations coming up pretty shortly. We'll bring you back to that. But in the meantime, we're going to send you away. Get a quick word from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a Guard engineer.
This is Combine Training.
will.
A big welcome back to Starfire. Wes Tucker again with the Evergreen State women's soccer coach, Dave Morris. It's been a fantastic tournament, to say the least, and Highline ends up sweeping it.
Big sweep for Highline. 2 1-0 wins. 2 NWAC championships for the Highline Thunderbirds. On the men's side, a goal midway through the second half, a little earlier than that, and then hanging on by their fingernails for the last roughly half hour. Whatcom, they hit a crossbar. They got the ball in behind the keeper a couple of times, but never into the back of the net, and that's how you win a championship.
And a little bit of a surprise, the 1-0 score came from a defender. That, of course, was McLeroy. You expect to see someone like Conte or Johnson taking care of it, but how about the defense?
Well, you get in a championship game, and it's an 11 player thing at a time, and goals come from all over the place. So not too unusual, I don't think, in this situation. You have a defender who was coming up behind the play, ball sat up for him, and give him credit. McLeroy banged that thing home, and that's the difference.
All right, and it looks like they need to take our friend from us, so we're going to go ahead and cut this post-game show short. But stick around, because we'll have the presentation of this very award coming up just after this.
Begin the award presentation. We'd like to award the second place trophy on a great year to the Whatcom Community College Orcas. Can the captains come forward to pick up their trophy? We would like to present the 2017 Men's NWAC Championship Trophies to the Highline Thunderbirds, presented by the all-time winning coach, Jason Bravo. Highline, hold on. We have 2 individual trophies to present. First of all, the most inspirational player in the 2017 Men's Championship Tournament, number 14, Dane Evander. And the most valuable player for the 2017 Men's NWAC Championship Tournament, it's the goalie, Akili Kassim.
So there you have it, the 2017 NWAC Soccer Champions in the men's division is Highline, and Highline also the champion in the women's division. So a championship sweep for the Thunderbirds. We're going to send you to commercial one last time, but when we come back, we will have some interviews with some victorious Thunderbirds right after this.
And back here at Starfire, I'm here with the most inspirational and most valuable player. We got Dane Ebinger and Akili Kasim, and they are the men's NWAC champions. So Highline ends up sweeping it. How does it feel to share the spotlight with your women's team?
It feels amazing. It really does. Like, they worked hard, we worked hard. We both came out with the win. 1-0 win, hard-fought games. Like, it feels great.
All right, quick question here for the MVP. You took a lot of damage today inside the penalty box, and a lot of traffic in there. How do you deal with all the traffic coming your way?
Just staying composed. Playing with Sounders Academy in S2 last year really helped me build up my composure, being inside the box and dealing with professional players and also a higher level in academy. So it helped me build my composure, just staying calm in the box and not reacting when I get hit as much as I probably should, or not should, probably as I wanted to, but just staying composed, really.
All right, now a question for Mr. Inspirational. How do you keep your team fired up? It was a hard-fought first half. I got to know.
Keep working hard, keep it simple, keep it quick, just keep playing hard, play for each other. Like, without that, if we didn't play for each other, we wouldn't be here. So we kept it the same all year, got the win.
And you guys went into the half tied at 0. So what's the thought process coming into that second half? I mean, the first goal didn't come till about midway through.
Honestly, what Steve says, we just keep doing what we're doing, really. It'll come. Eventually, the goals will come. And you see it happen, 1-0. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much. Eventually, goals will come. Keep playing hard. Keep working. Get like I've already said, play it simple. Like, when we play simple, we beat teams. When we take our chances, we get goals. We win games.
All right, well, congratulations, gentlemen. 2017 NWAC Soccer Championships have been swept by the Highline Thunderbirds. And a big thank you again, Dane, Killy. Thank you. And from everybody here at the NWAC, my colleague Dave Morris, our illustrious crew over in the other press box, and our director and producer, Justin Ford, I'm Wes Tucker, and we'll see you next weekend for NWAC Volleyball.